Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is Terminators vs. Transformers review. Now, to begin with, the story takes place in Los Angeles 2029, where we see a couple of dead Autobots and some Decepticons across the destroyed city of Los Angeles. And we see the main character running across the destroyed city trying to get to his destination and to encounter a Terminator that's ready to terminate him. But for the twist of the story, that he's a T-800, a Terminator himself, and now his main objective was to retrieve the body and to go back to the past to destroy all Cybertronians. And now also the Terminators were building other machineries like their own versions of the Transformers of the Decepticons to stop them from destroying the time gate, but they were unsuccessful. So the Terminator T-800 went back to the past, landed into the diner where Sarah Connor works at, and it was cool interaction because it shows the options that the Terminator thought of, like terminate Sarah Connor. I have no, don't say anything, and shove or something. It wasn't really that important because the first option was funny. Because if he terminates Sarah Connor, the whole story would have been another difference. But Sarah Connor didn't really play a major role in this story. It was mainly the T-800. And when he faced the Terminators, when he faced the Autobots and Decepticons, he targeted all of them. But he mainly fought the Decepticons because they were the first ones awake. And it was cool to see him fighting, but it was also funny because it was like a little kid fighting like an adult trying to stop him. It was just funny. That's how I seen it. But anyways, the Decepticons fleeing because the other Autobots awakening, like Optimus, Bumblebee, and so forth. And after that, the Decepticons roam the Earth, seeing that they can conquer it and take it over, while the Autobots prepare their friends and get ready to stop the Megatron and his forces. And then after that, they while they're waiting, they're getting their supplies and equipment ready to go hunt them down. And then also the Terminator was also suggesting for his own equipment, because their weaponry is 4 times his size. So the Teletron 1 was able to configure it to a smaller size for him to use. And also before they left, Optimus talked to him about how the Autobots are here to protect all living beings. And because the Terminator talked about his story where he came from from the future, where the Decepticons ruled the Earth, the humans lost, and the last resort was to build Skynet. And Skynet was this only way to save the human race, but the human race still lost. Skynet still proceed, and they lost, and now they send. That's why the T-800 went back into the past to save Skynet, not the human race, which makes sense. But I thought it was just funny because it did the same thing that its creators did. And so now, after that explaining the past, they go find the Decepticons, go meet them, have a confrontation, and then pretty much won. Because Megatron dies because he got betrayed by Starscream, because in the future, the Terminator remember what Starscream said about being a slave to his program or something. And they both worked together to stop Megatron. Soundwave died as well. He got ambushed by Bumblebee and some other Autobots. And after that, then not Optimus. Oh yeah, Optimus and his teammates arrested the remaining Decepticons and pretty much take them to the home base, but their home base was destroyed because the Terminator blew up the Autobots base because its programming was to destroy all Cybertronians, which I didn't like. But to continue the story, after that, then at the end of the chapter, we see Megatron and the Terminator being rebuilt in new bodies, or they're building their own new bodies, and seeing Sarah Connor work at this newspaper company where she can keep an eye on her friends and stuff, her Autobots friends, I would say. And that's it. There's no sequel, so 4 years and no sequel. But now get to the cons. The first con, it will be more of the interaction with the Terminator and the Autobots. I like how the Terminator was more like, oh no, all Cybertronians must die. But I felt like Optimus, when he gave a speech to him, it should have been, its programming should revalidate the situation and seeing that their action was different from the future. Because they never explain if the Autobots were attacking the Terminators as well, which I doubted because they were they had to fight the Megatron. But it wasn't really a lot of depth in this comic, I would say, because when they did the past, it was just short and simple. But in the beginning of the comic, it showed some Autobots on the ground destroyed, city destroyed, no human beings, and it didn't really make sense though, because I kind of felt like there should have been at least one Autobot alive where they created the human race and the Autobot worked together to stop Megatron. Like, it could have been only one Autobot. That would have worked better. Of creating Skynet as a new twist to save the future. But I still like it either way, but I feel like it should have been more in depth of explaining what happened in the future, what happened to the remaining Autobots. And I feel like Sarah Connor should have a bigger role in creating Skynet or creating the T-800 and programming it to go back to the past to save the future. Because her role in this story was literally insignificant. She had no major impact, really. And the only people who really had an impact was the Autobots and the Terminator. That's why I feel like this story kind of shortened it, because they could use Sarah Connor as in the future as a more of a catalyst of why the Terminator, proceed like this, And then after this whole conflict, I didn't like how Optimus was like, after he seen the base destroyed, he was, the way I perceived is like, oh, well, things happen. Wasn't expecting, but now let's all speak together and just work our way as Cybertronians. Pretty much stop fighting and just work with us, because your leaders are dead and we have no one else. And so I kind of feel like that was supposed to be like a lead up to a second volume of Terminators versus Transformers, but it's been 4 years now and we still haven't got anything about it. But other than that, another thing I didn't like about is Sarah Connor, about her new position of this job she had where she could keep an eye on Autobots. They didn't really explain how she got it. It was just like, oh, later. Besides that, I really think the comic was good and fun story, but it could have had a better impact if they develop more of its story. Pretty much, I was like, develop more of the future, explain what exactly happened in the future, and then put more use on Sarah Connor and the Terminator, having like a tied frame, I would say, and then and make, I feel like I feel like the Autobots should have had more impact on the Terminator. I'll say it, and that's pretty much it. I recommend the story. Is great. It's just a really fun read, honestly. Besides the critics I just gave, because I like to have more develop of the story I like to have reasons why this happened, this and this, to really impact the reader, impact me. So, but besides that, um, I gave it a 7. I recommend it to everyone else to read it and just have fun with the story. Because Transformers, they make a lot of crossovers, comic books. So I think this was such a really good win. And these are the artists who draw these cool concept arts. And I'll put their names in the description so you can look up what other artworks or comic books they work on. But if you pause the videos in the beginning, I put their names next to each of the picture, or you can see it from their gallery. You can see it as well. But thank you guys for watching the video. I hope you enjoy it. And I'll see you in the next. Take care and have a good night.